on and off the field exponentially grew over this season because he was with the Raiders. So I definitely think he's coming back. He loves doing, he wants to win one for Oakland, for his city. And so I think he's going to give it his all until they get up out of here and leave.
Yeah. So we'll see. And, man, shout out to Information, man. He's dropping some nuggets in here. He said, yeah, it's a big move from a coaching point of view. I agree with you. But the Raiders moving to Vegas as a slap in the face to the loyal fans in the Bay Area, the whole Bay Area. So I think I agree. Yeah. I agree in that. And I think the other thing is, though, Vegas had an XFL team. XFL, of course, is done and over with. It's gone. But you think about the excitement that they had just from having an XFL team. If they have an actual NFL team, you think about bookies, you think about gambling, you think about fantasy football, you think about where fantasy sports is going, money, sports, gambling, all that stuff. It's gonna be crazy. I can't even imagine what's gonna happen.
Well, you also gotta factor into that Vegas is a very, very has a very growing economy, and there's a lot of people that are relocating to Vegas, right? So, I was just online. It's crazy. Saw this house in Vegas, 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 3,000 square feet for $250,000, wow. And that is great. That's amazing, right?
Right.
That's like amazing because in California, you're surely not getting that for $250,000 at all. But I mean, this is if there's a very big draw to Vegas right now, or as economics to raising a family, things like that. And of course, football is a family sport. I mean, this is something that you want to take your kids out to watch and things like that. So it connects. It's it connects very well. And it's going to be great. It's great for Vegas. It's just terrible for Oakland, man, because, like you said, it's a slap in the face. It's definitely a slap in the face. Oakland fans have supported the Raiders for ever. Even when they left the first time and went to L.A., still supported them. They came back. They still got support. This time, it might be a little different. Yeah, I think leaving this time, it's over with. There's no way you can come back from this. You better stay in Vegas for the rest of the lives, the life. I guess the lifespan of your organization.
Right, exactly. You're not coming back after this. This is 2 stabs in the back. Okay, so let's talk about NFL Wildcard Weekend. We got 4 games, 2 today, 2 tomorrow. We got Tennessee at Kansas City, which starts in about 2 hours. I'm really not so interested in this game. Number one, I'm not. This is all be honest here. Whoever's interested in this game, the only reason because you're a fan of the team. That's the only reason why. Shout out to From the Bottom podcast. Also, shout out to Chief Rocka in the building and DJ P Funk. From the Bottom says I can't call it. I guess he was commenting on something, but this game's not going to be that interesting. Alex Smith and the Chiefs have been, digressing over the past 7 weeks. Tennessee, they're a team that everybody's been talking about. They're turning the corner. Mariota, DeMarco Murray's probably not going to be playing. Derrick Henry's a young guy, so. Yeah, it's a 3:35 game on a Saturday. I don't know, but if I had to pick a team, I want to see the Titans win. I like the young quarterback. They've got a solid defense. I like Derrick Henry, but I want to get your thoughts on the game and who's your pick to win it.
After you had already just bashed the game so badly. This is going to be an interesting game. We saw, I think you mentioned the Chiefs kind of digressing over the season. They start off really, really hot, and then they just been kind of up and down the rest of the season. You don't know which team you're going to get. And, of course, the Titans haven't been They haven't been consistent all year either. So it should be a fairly interesting game for me. I think the keys to the game is the Titans want to establish the run game, and they should do that with Derrick Henry, who's a power back. This dude can run the ball. They should be able to exploit KC's just bad run defense. Man, they have terrible run defense, so
they're not
they should be able to run the ball.
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't mean to cut you off, but they're not the same defensively at all compared to last year.
No, definitely. Even though it's crazy because I think they're like top 2 or top 3 in turnovers in turnover sports or plus. I think they're like plus 15 or plus 17 this season or something. So they haven't been turning over the ball and they've been forcing turnovers. But their run defense is terrible. Like you can gash them, right? you can get some big plays there. And Mariota and Derrick Henry should be able to run all over this defense if Mariota decides to pull the ball down and run, which is my biggest issue with Mariota. Mariota is a legit dual threat quarterback who does not use his leg ever, right?
Yeah.
So this is if they can run the ball on KC, I think they can control the tempo of the game, run the ball, and then use their defense to kind of win this game, win a close game. But if they cannot run the ball, if KC can force them to start passing the ball, then it'll be interesting to watch the matchup of Darrelle Revis, whoever Darrelle Revis is shadowing today. So, he is the number 2 corner on the team now. Marcus Peters, they will not throw at Marcus Peters. Nobody throws at Marcus Peters. So, Mariota will not throw at Marcus Peters. They will throw at Darrelle Revis. It's pick your poison. Darrelle Revis has not looked good the past 2 or 3 years. So, he will get targeted today. It will be interesting to see that matchup, whether he's covering Eric Decker or if he's covering Corey Davis. I don't know I think Rashard Matthews is hurt, I believe. I'm not sure if he's playing, but that'll be interesting to see that matchup and see if those two, if the Titans can take advantage of that matchup. Otherwise, look at a lot of passes to Delaney Walker, dump off passes to Delaney Walker, dump off passes to Derrick Henry throughout the game. And then the Chiefs got to get the big play going. I mean, my issue with the Chiefs this entire season is, man, you got to throw the ball downfield, man. Like, there's no reason to have a dude like Tyreek Hill who runs like a 4.23 or some crazy crap, right? Like, he's super fast, and he runs good routes. And Alex Smith cannot hit this dude down the field. So you got to get the ball down the field. You got to use your weapons. You have weapons that can stretch the field. KC has to stretch the field, and they'll probably start off by running the ball first, and then they'll try to stretch the field. So I got KC winning this game just because of experience more so than really being better. I just think they're just the more experienced team, and because they're the more experienced team, they should have their composure and they should really come in this game focused. Andy Reid should have them playing well, focused. And if he don't, then he might need to find another job. But
yeah, definitely.
I
mean, on that point, I don't mean to cut you off, but on that point, Chief says both of these teams' head coaches are chokes. Neither one of them have a clue.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, like you said, you kind of bash the game, but it's kind of true. Like, this is a game that KC should win, but and I'm going with KC, but I can also see the Titans, if they control the tempo of the game, them winning this game easily. Yeah.
And then in the chat room, Mocha says, "Come on, Ben, just because the Cowboys didn't make the playoffs, you can't be happy for other teams." That's not it. That's not it at all. Yeah. This game just doesn't seem like it's gonna be that interesting. And who knows? It may be a shootout, but the teams are just both of these teams have been digressing throughout the remainder of the season. So that's the reason why I don't know how this game's going to pan out. But I think I'm going to pick the Titans to win. I think the Titans are going to get the win. On to the next one. We have the Falcons and the Rams, this is the 7:15 Central Time, 8:15 Eastern Time game. This is to me, the game of today right here. Falcons versus Rams. You got an experienced Falcons team who choked in the Super Bowl last year, which everybody already knows that. And then you got a Rams team who is young, hungry. You got a young coach, Gurley, Goff, who is looking like the top pick, like he was drafted at. They've got a solid defense. I'm excited about this one. Is this going to be the end for the Falcons for this season? Who's going to cover Julio? Of course, that's the number one question always. Who's going to cover Julio? The Falcons 10-6, the Rams 11-5, hosting the playoff game at Memorial Coliseum, which to me is beyond exciting. I'm sure it's going to be packed. But I think the big thing here is the Rams, even though they're young, are they going to be able to beat a more experienced team, a team that's been in the playoffs, a team that has made it to the Super Bowl, a team that doesn't want to lose and be one and done this year? Can they overcome that? And then also on the Falcons side, is their defense going to be able to stop a high-powered offense like the Rams? So to me, this is a great matchup. The Rams are looks like they're favored in this game, and I'm going to go with the Rams. I think even though they're young, even though they're inexperienced, even though it's going to be hard to cover Julio, I think their offense is high-powered. Their defense, you can hate on Wade Phillips all you want. He's not a good coach, but his defensive mind is like second to none, and the guy's like 75 years old. So I'm picking the Rams.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with a couple of people yesterday about the Rams, man, and even this morning, people were like, "Is Jared Goff for real?" And I'm like, you know what? I was like, this season showed Sean McVay, who's the coach. He took this team, and they've been looking bad for the past 2 or 3 years. Outside of defense, the offense has looked pedestrian, terrible for the past 2 or 3 years. And all of a sudden, this is like an explosive defense. I mean, an explosive offense, right? And you have Jared Goff, who threw for about 3,500 yards, 28 touchdowns, 11 picks, or something like that. Some crazy numbers. He had good numbers. He had solid numbers. This is a team that looks like they're ready to compete, and I have them actually coming out the NFC. And this has been my sleeper pick for like 3 years. Literally.
3 years sleeper pick. I like that.
3 year sleeper pick, man. 3 year sleeper pick, because their defense has been legit for like 3 or 4 years. Their defense has been legit, man. But their offense is just like, Chuck Fisher can get that offense going, and then he leaves, and now Jared Goff is just he looks like a legit quarterback, So I have to go with the Rams. I think that Atlanta they have these brain farts, man. They have these meltdowns that just does not make any sense, especially on the defensive end. So I look at them; they're going to get a high dose of Todd Gurley, but the Rams like to run a lot of crossing routes and things like that, and against that defense, which runs a cover 3, those crossing routes should be able to exploit that defense. Sammy Watkins, you got Sammy Watkins going for the big play, even though he only gets like 2 or 3 catches a game. Oftentimes when he gets the catch, it's usually a big play, right? You look at Coop, we'll get some targets, a lot of targets, and they'll run the ball and they'll throw the ball out the backfield to Gurley all game. And this is a team where they're just going to keep on just pounding the ball. So I think that St. Louis has the better defense. I think that offensively, they don't have the better offense, but I think offensively, their scheming is a lot better than Atlanta's. The other thing that makes me question Atlanta is Matt Ryan can throw the ball to Julio? Jesus, like, this dude is the best receiver in the league. I don't care if he's double covered. Throw him the ball. Yeah. You got to throw him the ball. Give him opportunity. Let him make a play. And, there's too many times where Matt Ryan does not take that chance to throw Julio the ball. And so,